Hey guys, how's it going? Today in this video, I want to show you what to do with a plant that looks like this. I'm going to be separating these all out, and I just wanted to show you the process. This is a gold tooth aloe, and I bought it because I wanted to use this one right here because I love the shape and the color on the tips in another arrangement. In fact, it's going to be going in this pot with some other succulents, but there's a whole bunch of other ones in this pot, and I feel like it's such a good deal if you can buy your succulents and cacti like this, if you need that many. Like, you could separate these out and give them to friends, give them as gifts, use them in other arrangements if you want to. So I spent $22.98 on this one pot, and I counted at least 21 aloe in there, which comes out to be a little over $1 per plant, which is, I think, an amazing deal. So what I'm going to do is slide this whole thing out and just show you the process. So first off, if it's sharp, you can use like a piece of newspaper rolled up or a towel, something like that. This one is only sharp if you run your hands like the wrong direction, I guess, down the leaves. So I'm just going to kind of cradle the plant and slide the pot off, and hopefully it comes off easily. Oh yeah, see, look at that. We still have a whole bunch of soil at the bottom of the pot. So this one isn't really that rooted in. So what I do is I just start removing soil gently, and we're just going to gently ease the plants apart. Sometimes they're attached like to the bigger kind of mother plant, and sometimes they're kind of free in there. So let's take a look like this one right here. If you go down further, it's got kind of a long stalk and it is attached down below. So I'm just going to pop it off. And you can see that we've got a nice stalk down there, some good healthy roots, and a nice looking plant. So basically that is all I do to separate these. Oh, there's another little tiny, look at this. Look at the little tiny baby in here. So I'm looking forward to count how many we actually have. And I don't know if you can see right there, but that's kind of the bottom of the stalk where it's attached to this main one. And I just gently ease it apart. That's a really nice looking one. You know what? Let me move this whole thing back. I want to make sure you can see all of these little babies up front here. Look at this one. This is not so baby. This one's kind of big. I also remove any leaves that look like this. Oh, you can see it really well right here. See the main stalk? And you can see all three of these little babies right here are coming right off of that. So I've got it all separated. This is the one that I was after. It's a beauty. And I think the reason why I already talked about the color on the leaves, but I kind of wanted to play off the terracotta that you can see through the glaze right here. And I think the color just blends beautifully. So I'm going to clean up my mess and we'll count these, and then I'll show you how I pot them up. Okay, let me count them. I hope that there's 21 or more. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 23 plus 4 little guys that were hiding, and they're actually kind of white in color because they weren't getting any light. So these may or may not take, in which case that's 27 plants total that came out of this one pot. But I think 23 of them are viable and should root and do really, really well. So this big one I'm just gonna leave right here. You can see a really beautiful, healthy root system here, and another little baby I missed. That's 28. So, you know, this is kind of obvious. I'll just be putting cactus and succulent soil in this container and nesting it down in that. So this one should be happy and not really like take any time to start rooting in. And then we've got some nice bigger ones here that do have some nice roots coming off of them. I brought some terracotta pots out here, and I'll just pot a few of them so you can kind of see. Let me create a hole here. I really like to use terracotta because I feel like most plants benefit from a porous kind of pot, because air can go in and out of the sides of the container, so can moisture, and that keeps the roots really happy. So you can use some of the soil that was in the pot if you want to, especially if the plant wasn't really well rooted. You know, I had a couple of inches at the bottom of this container where there was no roots, but I don't really know how long this aloe was in that container and how long it's been utilizing any nutrients that's in the soil. So I tend to like to start fresh, and that way I know they're just, you know, off to as good of a start as I can possibly give them. And this soil right here I can just toss right out into the garden because there's no pests or anything on these plants, so I feel like it's good soil just to toss out there. So let's take this one for example. I'm just going to bury this whole stalk with the roots right down into the center of the pot. It's okay if the bottom of the aloe is kind of underneath the soil, and I think that this is going to be perfect. add a little bit of extra soil here. You can also trim that stalk that's on the bottom. You do not have to leave it as long. Like if you were to want to put it in a little bit of a shorter container like this, you totally could. In fact, I'll show you, whoops, I'll show you with the next one. Okay, that one looks really good. So I'll add some soil into this container. So let's take this one, for example, right here. This stalk is really long. If I were to plant this in the container with that stalk, it would stick way up out of there and look kind of odd. So there are roots all along here. I'm gonna go ahead and just snap it right there. We're left with a couple of roots right there, and I'm just gonna plant it the same way. So the thing is, when you break that stalk, it kind of already broke anyway from the mother plant, so there's kind of a fresh wound right there. So I'm gonna actually hold off watering these newly potted aloes for a few days just to allow those ends to kind of callus over, which they will do. You can let them sit out like this on a table in kind of just bright indirect light and let them dry for a couple of days and then pot them and water them. Or you can go ahead and pot them right away and then wait like 5 to 7 days. Let that end have a chance to callus over and then give them some water. And the last one I wanna show you is what to do with a little baby that doesn't have any roots. And basically you treat them exactly the same way. So I'm gonna get a little bit of soil in this little tiny cute terracotta pot. I'm gonna create a hole down the center and then just plant it up. So really the only difference is these bigger plants that already have roots like this, they can already start taking up moisture and nutrients, as opposed to the little babies without roots. They're just gonna sit there a little bit longer and they'll start forming their own roots, which will take a little bit more time, maybe a month or two, and then they might start putting on a little bit of growth. But with all of these, I'm gonna wait 5 to 7 days before I give them any water. And basically that's it, you guys. I just wanted to show you how a plant like that comes apart, what I do with all the babies. All the rest of these I will still pot up. I'm going to take them inside into my plant room and do it up there because that's where they're going to live under a grow light until I'm ready to use them. So anyway, I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Thank you so much for watching and we will see you in the next one. Bye.